So it's been a little while since we went on a sketchbook date, so why don't we head on over together and do some drawing on location. Today I'm having lunch with some family and friends, and we have just arrived to a delicious Peruvian restaurant. As we got seated, I couldn't wait to eat, but I also couldn't wait to sketch. And I think we're gonna switch things up today and do some food illustration. As always, upon arriving, I get settled in and do some observing to get a feel of the place before the waiter came to take our order.
The Cordero Inca, amazing. Lecolar, cooked slowly.
Everything on the menu looked and sounded so delicious. And this is me containing my excitement hearing the waiter explain all the delicious dishes.
I like the second choice.
Okay.
I like pizza.
Okay,
The rice here is amazing.
we'll start there and then
Yes.
we'll
Then they
get
have
the meat.
in this section also.
I love the ambience around and I was immediately inspired, but I was unsure on what to start with. I felt a bit rusty, so I decided to begin with a pencil, and I just gathered all my supplies, the fountain pen, and I knew I had to get ready to work quickly as all the food and drinks began to arrive. Thank you. The presentation of this passion fruit juice was already exquisite. I think I'll start with this first, and I waited no further and just began laying in the sketch with the pencil first.
For the calamar and then green sauce. The green one is spicy, yes.
Thank you. Sometimes I have a plan coming into drawing on location, and sometimes I don't. And it's been a long while since I've drawn food from observation. So my intention today was to capture this beautiful moment with all the delicious dishes. And I had to work quickly because the food was coming fast.
Wow.
Talk about colorful presentation, right?
Wow.
So they have here the cevichado roll, the one kind of roll, and then we have here the trillo ceviches, lime, yellow pepper, red pepper, and fried calamari with yuquitas.
Seeing this beautiful, colorful centerpiece, I knew it was going to be the center composition of the sketch. And in case you're wondering, yes, it tastes just as good as it looks. Thank you, you too. I laid in the sketch super roughly with a pencil. I don't normally go in with a pencil, I go straight in with ink, but I wanted to make sure the placement of all the dishes was on the composition. And once that was in, I began with my fountain pen to lay in the inking portion. This fountain pen has waterproof ink inside, so then I was planning on going in with some watercolor on top to bring all those colors together. But first, I decided to create a beautiful foundation with all the ink marks. This way it's all laid in as the food is getting eaten and it's all disappearing quickly, and then I can just experiment with color on top once the sketch is done in ink. I start over on the left and make my way over from the calamari to the beautiful orchids that are in the presentation. This was a ceviche appetizer, and if you've never had ceviche before, it's generally made from raw, fresh fish or shrimp that's marinated in lemon or lime citrus juices. Since it's marinated for so long, there's so much flavor in each one, and these 3 cups on top had 3 different sauces and 3 different flavors. There was an orange sauce, a yellow sauce, and a white sauce. And of course, the onions and little greens on top made a beautiful touch for the presentation, which I can't wait to come to life when I bring in color. I was nibbling and tasting as I was sketching, and I was pretty shocked on how much fun I was having drawing food. I've really been into cooking lately, so this has definitely been a topic that I really love and am passionate about. And all the colors, shapes, and textures here are just an artist's heaven. I originally had a cup of tea that I ordered, but with all the small cylindrical shapes with the ceviche inside, I decided to do the plate in background to add bigger shapes and break up the composition, since I'll have some more glasses over on the right as well. And after I got those in, I wanted to capture everyone's dishes, so up next was the pulpo dish, which is hand-seared octopus, and it came with a bed of veggies and asparagus. It was delicious. I know not everyone may be into it, and I wasn't before, but it truly is yum. I love me some good sauces, and oh my goodness, I had to put these into the sketch because they were just delicious. The perfect amount of spice in great balance with all the dishes. And no dish must be left behind, so on the bottom I moved over to capture the entraña, that's skirt steak, and it came with a bed of fettuccine pesto pasta. I also included the Peruvian large dried corn kernel, which is called cancha or canchita. It was a snack on the table at first. And as I finish up the sketch with some little details, I'd love to thank the sponsors of today's video, Skillshare. I mentioned Skillshare in my top resources for artists video, but Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring and creative classes. There's definitely something for everyone with a wide depth of topics. Whenever I go on sketchbook dates to cafes, I love taking my laptop and taking a class right in the cafe. A recent class that I took was with Nathaniel Drew. Since I do YouTube and share my voice online, I loved learning about discovering more creative ways to do so. Some more classes I love was with Andy, which is called Find Your Style. Skillshare has discussion boards, projects, and resources where you can upload your project after you've completed it. And check this out, one of the first classes I ever took on Skillshare was my first digital drawing portrait. Here's what I created after taking the class. I think it came out pretty cool and I loved and learned so much. Even as someone who teaches, there's always something to learn. So a little fun fact, before I came onto location, I took a class on food photography. Since I was filming on my own, I think I did a pretty good job and it really helped me understand lighting. I think the next class I'm taking is going to be about plants. Skillshare has it all, so give it a try. If you want to unlock your creativity and learn something new, the first 1,000 people to use my link in the description will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. The sketch is now complete and my belly's getting pretty full, but it's time to wrap it up and bring it all together with some beautiful color. For color, I'm going to be using some watercolor, so I'm just wetting up the paints and then I'm erasing out the pencil with a kneaded eraser. And for my first layer, I'm going to mix in the brightest yellows, then I just hope for the best and begin. Beginning back with the paint where I started, I wanted to communicate this steamy, beautiful drink. And I made sure to mix the color and make it nice and clean so I get the brightest yellows and the brightest oranges. These colors are more prone to being dirty on the palette, but we're gonna make it work. Next, I got started on the bright calamari and I got a nickel azo yellow color and then I added it to the boat as well. One challenge I began to face was making sure that not all of the colors looked the same and that the shades of orange and yellow and brown did differentiate. So to try to get a variety of texture, I laid in some water and then did a wet on wet technique for the boat. And just imagining the plan ahead in my head sort of, I had the base layer in with the yellows and then I started adding all the greens and laying in the foundation color for the sketch. All the food was super bright, so I wanted to make sure that all the colors are bright as well. I love the combinations of pinks and yellows and greens, and the little orchids were a beautiful touch as well. I definitely got into a really nice flow and was really enjoying the moment. Again, I was reminded on how much I love sketching and painting on location, and I'm really grateful I can share this moment with you. I've been really enjoying using pinks for shadows. After getting the main centerpiece in, I moved over to the other dishes and added some color into those. Painting food today has really taught me the beautiful color combinations you can get, all the greens and browns and purples, and I definitely feel inspired and creative to use these in my other pieces. You never know what's going to inspire you that day or what you're going to experience that day. And one of the most common questions that I receive from you guys is, where do I begin? How do I get inspired? I really want to draw, but I don't know what to draw. And the two pieces of advice that I can give you is to start off with a topic that you are so in love with and things that really excite you, or tackle something completely new that you haven't done before. Personally, for me, it gets easier to build enthusiasm. Seeing all these colors got me so excited and enthusiastic about the piece. When you set your mind and intention with excitement and you're ready to sketch, and when you know that this will be fun, it becomes a lot more enjoyable and you're able to get into your flow. Give it a try and start small. Don't go as complex at first, and you'll see tons of revelation and how much you'll surprise yourself. Painting today got me thinking. Sharing food with others is such a blessing in our life. Trying new dishes of different cultures, coming together, appreciating the moment, learning about the foods, and most importantly, not taking it for granted. Research shows that after just one single food sharing event, the levels of circulating oxytocin are higher and promote social bonding and higher levels of cooperation. And let me tell you, I was feeling that twice as much capturing this with some art. I knew that every time I'd look back at the sketch, I would remember this moment. I'll be brought back the feeling of love and comfort from this delicious food, and it just makes me really grateful and excited to explore some more. To really commemorate the moment, I wanted to add some typography, just add some sweet words to accompany the beautiful food. I would really love to know what your favorite food is. And if you like sketchbook dates where we go out on location, be sure to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss the next one. This has been a really fun, awesome series to bring you along on. To finish off the composition and sketch, the kernels end up on the table, so I added them below. And here's how the finished spread came out. As I was packing up and saying goodbye, what are the odds that I was around another artist all along?
Meet another artist, an artist too, so now we're Instagram buddies. So he was an amazing waiter, we had an awesome experience, so thank you so much.
Thank you, nice meeting you, okay? We'll keep in touch.
Yes, all right. Cheers, bye.